Hey y'all, welcome back to Teyonce's world. So today's topic is going to be about shadow work. And I chose this topic because I am in the process of doing shadow work. As I get older, I kind of become more aware of my patterns and like also just learning my bipolar disorder that I was diagnosed in like 2019. I've started to just kind of practice on becoming more self-aware. And part of this self-awareness is your shadow work because that is your subconscious level. That is things that you are not consciously doing, but it's your subconscious reaction or something that just, it's a trigger basically, like work within that you need to work on that is just shadow work. It's nothing physical, it's all emotional and it's all deeply rooted, whether it be trauma or whether it just be, you know, say someone says something and it hits something and you're like, why do I care that much about this? Honey, that's your shadow. That's your subconscious speaking. So let's get started. I found these prompts off Pinterest whenever I can't think and I want to journal or anything, just kind of get my brain going. I go on Pinterest and I just type in journal prompts or mental health prompts or blah, 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 self-care prompts, just blah, 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 just things to get the brain stimulated and going for anything I want to journal. But the first prompt says, what made you start doubting yourself as a kid? Maybe I never truly doubted myself. I would say I more so limited myself from my full potential, which I still do to this day, but working on it. But I think I was more so my own limit versus my own best friend. So instead of doubt, I guess if you want to say that's doubt, I would say I just more so never wanted to try hard. If or anything that challenged me. I always liked the easy route for some reason. Like I would know and I would be told like by teachers that I had, they'd be like, why aren't you in AP or why aren't you doing honors classes? And I'd be like, because on level finna get me in and out, you know? Or when I was supposed to, it was between pre-cal and AMDM, and pre-cal wasn't necessarily a thing I needed. I took AMDM. So it's just like I wanted the easy route. I never wanted to challenge myself. And is that something I regret to this day? Maybe. I wish I did take grade school a little bit more serious, but I do not truly think it's that deep. At the end of the day, I got my diploma. But yeah, I don't really have any doubt. I think also the activities as I got older maybe limited that. And then just like certain engagements with certain people who would belittle me or, you know, talk down on me or, you know, play psyche games. I think when I started getting interested in men, that's probably when I started doubting myself because I would lose myself in men, and I am the person where somebody's action still has control over my emotions. And I'm trying to perfect that, but I would say as a kid, and maybe not as a child, but more so when I started getting into high school and further into college, when men came into the picture, doubt came into the picture because I wasn't standing firmly in my own self-worth. I was standing firmly in the worth they would validate me in or how they would treat me. Period. Next question. What aspects of your life do you project onto others in a very unhealthy way? Ooh. My fear of abandonment. My fear of abandonment is so bad. I literally like will cling and get codependency. And I wouldn't even say I was abandoned or anything. Maybe I just felt less emotionally secure growing up. I was always surrounded by friends and family for the most part. I mean, I don't know where the true root of fear of abandonment comes from. That's something I'll just have to do some deep diving into through therapy or something, or just like really thinking back. But I project that fear of abandonment onto people. I am clingy. I am impulsive. I have to work on that. It's just something that I project badly. And also, what else do I project? When it comes to my male relationships, I project my insecurities due to past relationships, my trust issues and everything. Beyond that, I do let my past experiences cloud my present experiences due to unhealed stuff. That's why right now I'm just kind of like doing me, because I'm like, okay, I haven't done me in a while. I'm about to be 25. I don't even know myself fully. So I'm doing a little bit of a deep dive right now, a little bit introspection and stuff, especially now that I'm stable. I think I project also, what else is unhealthy? I don't know. If I think of something, I'll get back to it. Anywho, what is something your younger self would be surprised about you now? My resilience. I mean, I've been resilient, always resilient, forever going to be resilient. But the level of resilience I've had over the years and the things I've overcome and still are overcoming and will overcome, can't stop, won't stop. You know, I'm proud. I'm proud. My younger self should be proud, because no matter how many times I kick down, no matter how long the process takes, I still get back up. Y'all ain't finna hold me down for long. Point blank, period. Nobody. Can't stop, won't stop. Anywho. And I think I would be also, this is like a little corny, but I think I would be proud of some of my idols that I've met growing, like people I grew up watching on TV or listening to their music that I've gotten to meet now. It's just crazy how full circle some things are. You know, you grow up like watching them, and like now you're like in their presence and talking with them and being in the same room other than a concert. So it's just like cool, you know. My younger self would be proud of that. My younger self would be surprised that mayonnaise and mustard is actually pretty good now. We love that. And what else? My younger self would be surprised that we have bipolar. We have a mental disorder. Whoop, whoop, gang, 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 gang. But yeah. What emotions do you try to avoid? What makes you afraid to feel it? And what are you afraid will happen if you feel it? Contrary to your belief, and I always smile, I am afraid of happiness and love. Even though I seek love, I'm scared of love. It's crazy. You wouldn't even expect that. Happiness and love are something I am terrified of. What makes you afraid to feel it? I think the temporariness that I've experienced and the instability in those aspects. You know, as you grow up, you try and learn that, you know, everything's a cycle and everything's temporary. The good days, the bad days, everything. But I get scared to be happy, because every time I've reached a place of happiness and I start flourishing, and I won't say every time, knock on wood, but I've gotten knocked back down, or that thing has gotten yanked. You know, God will humble you. You know, what he give, he take. So I think I've never allowed myself to fully be happy anymore, because I'm like, all right, you know, feel it, experience it, but on to the next. And I don't even know what genuinely makes me happy anymore. I'm not depressed or anything, but like I'm still trying to find out what genuinely makes me happy. Like I know a few things other than nature, friends, and blah, 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 but like little things I could do, I do not know. And I'm working on that. And what are you afraid will happen if you feel it? I'm afraid it'll be taken away, you know? I'm afraid if I allow myself to be too happy, I'm afraid I will get manic now. And like that's just new after learning about bipolar. I'm like, oh, if I get too excited, I might, you know, go blah, blah, blah. Who hurt me the most and can I forgive them? Ooh. Y'all trying to get me to do some exposing, because I could name a whole bunch of people. But as many people as I can list, I do forgive y'all. I am a firm believer of forgiveness, and you have been forgiven. But next question. Who was the first person who made you feel insecure? Ooh. There was this girl in second grade, not gonna say her name, in second grade, bruh. You know, the Click book had just come out. And so in second grade, her and some girls in elementary, they made this group off from the Click book called The Pretty Committee. And this girl told me I wasn't pretty enough to be in the Pretty Committee. The audacity. Anyway, that was the first time I ever felt insecure. I was like, oh, hell no. That's not a bad word. YouTube don't flag me for that. But yeah, that was the first time I ever felt insecure, was when somebody told me I wasn't pretty enough for the Pretty Committee. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? I'm ugly? Letter to your parent with everything you want to say to them. Next question. They know I love them, and yeah, love you, mom and dad. What are my toxic traits in relationships? Back to the first question. Remember when it was I told you about the men and stuff and the doubting, and my unhealthy ways. Toxic traits in a relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic. The fear of abandonment, the codependency, the impulsivity to message or always be in contact or always be in your presence and stuff. Or, I'm very possessive sometimes, territorial. But at the end of the day, it's not that deep. Like, it's really not that deep. I just noticed these patterns. Whether I'm still this way or not, I don't know. But I've grown over time to grow comfortable that, two people have to have their own lives in order to work. And, I'm still adjusting to the fact that other people have lives outside of me. That's kind of sad to realize. But yeah, my toxic trait is just like my constant need for reaffirming, what is the word? I forgot that word. Y'all know the word I'm trying to say. But I always need to no, we're good sometimes, because when I'm manic and stuff, I think people hate me and it just goes left. And my toxic traits are when I'm in a relationship, which is also why I am trying to be single right now. When I'm in a relationship, I will lose myself into that person. So I'm at the rate where I want to have something going for me and have my life separate and just have them be my love and my rock. Not even a rock, but just at the end of the day, if I do lose something from this relationship, it's nothing but love and energy and time. Not my whole life. God forbid I end up in another mental hospital because a man. Y'all gonna start getting the medical bill at this point. But friendship-wise, unless you guys notice any toxic traits in my friendships, other than when I'm about to get manic and I start asking questions, I'd say my relationships with my friendships are pretty stable and pretty healthy now. What was one time you remember feeling wronged as a child? How did you react? Has this affected you in adulthood? If so, how? One time I felt wronged as a child. I was a pretty rebellious child, so I don't know. I always had since I was a kid, I always had a power with defying authority and stuff. I'm not saying that proudly, but I just always did me, for the most part. Middle school, I calmed down a little bit. High school, I got back to doing me. I think, when did I feel wronged? I guess I felt wronged. I was just telling my stepsister about this last night. I think I felt wronged, and love you, mom and stepdad and family members who see this if you do. But I think I felt wrong when I hit my car. I had a car and I hit a few things, popped some tires and blah, blah, blah. Anywho. And they took my car away and completely negated my whole driving experience from when I was 16 to now. Every now and then I get to drive a car, or when I lived with my friend, she would let me drive her car. So I still had somewhat skills and I still have my license, but And I never got in an accident. Like there was no car totaled or nothing. It was just like little minor things, hit a mailbox and stuff. So they took me off the road completely. And like years later in adulthood, the way I can't go see friends when I want or do things when I want, I'm always on someone else's time. Career-wise, the lack of growth in my career due to lack of reliable transportation, just little things like those where I have felt very limited because now, Uber doesn't even offer carpool Uber. So like you got to pay X amount for Ubers just to go there and sometimes back. So it's just like reliable transportation is something I don't realize people really notice, that it really changes things. Like the game has changed when you have a vehicle. And I don't live in a city where a bike would do me any justice. So, yeah. I just think that really affected my adulthood and like growing up. And how did I react? Like, well, now it's still a triggering question and a triggering thing for me to talk about because I get upset of that limit. And yes, I do take accountability for how I was. And like I was very, at that time, just go, and all that stuff, not really focused. But that's what driving lessons are for and stuff. And I just wish that there was a different route that could have been taken than other than just like completely blocking that out of my learning experience. Because not only do I feel dehumanized when I have to ask for rides and blah, 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 and can't go where I want to go, or I'm missing out on job interviews or jobs in general or internships or networking events or friends' birthdays or like anything, blah, 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 or even better careers that are more worthy, more up to par with my worth versus these little jobs I have to take because they're in the area. It's just a lot that factors into it that I don't feel victim to, but it's just like, yeah, that affected me in my adulthood. And that's it. So, yes, those were the prompts that I chose today. I'm sorry I didn't come more prepared. This is more like a tester to see if these are topics you guys want to see more of, less of. I think I'm going to start incorporating mental health into this page as much as I want to incorporate date story times and story times in general and just blah, 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 just Teyonce's world. But yeah, if you're interested in shadow work, Google shadow work, and there's plenty of resources on what's more than these little prompts that, that just get you going and get you thinking about stuff that you probably haven't thought about in a while or didn't realize. It just gets digging to your root. So yeah, if you guys like that, drop a like. As always, share or, drop a comment. Any comments, if there's something you want to see more of, less of, let me know. This is our channel. It's my channel, but it's our channel. Let's make this work. But yeah, that's all my prompts for the day. I hope y'all have a good day. And thank you for watching Teyonce's World. Ciao.